Driving home for Christmas, Chris Ria on Easy Rock. Good morning, Sean here. It is time for the Revelstoke Mayor Report with Mayor Gary Sulls. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Sean, and good morning, David. He's joining us this morning, and Buckley, who's laying on the floor.
Yeah. Hi, Dave. Thanks for popping in for the Mayor Report.
Be forewarned, I have nothing political to add of any use at all.
I was just going to say, because of your deep wisdom, thanks for showing up.
No problems are getting solved this morning.
No. We just wanted a peanut gallery comment from you periodically and to be able to make fun of you. So that's really what you're here for.
Wearing that hat, you're going to make fun of me?
Yeah.
You should be outside with a newspaper.
This is a classic newsy po' boy hat that I bought from Palm Springs for $10 because it's wool rich and it has earmuffs inside of it. And the guy figured no one from Palm Springs is ever going to wear this hat, so I got it for super cheap.
No one from anywhere is ever going to wear that hat.
You know what? Nobody likes you, Dave, so bye.
Oh, my God.
Not pictured are the tears rolling down my cheeks, folks.
All right, so on to the Mayor Report. Hi, Gary. Okay.
Hello, Sean. So a couple things this morning I wanted to touch on. First, in Arrow Heights neighborhood, garbage pickup coming up, scheduled for the Christmas Day, and I believe New Year's Day will be picked up the day before. But just encourage the residents in that area to just double check the city website, or if they have the Recycle app, that'll tell them what's happening. And then I want to touch on parking. We're going into the winter time. Now we've had most of the snow melt, but I've noticed a lot of things happening with parking in the last couple of weeks. Especially parking when the snow roads are covered. Encourage residents to park off the road on their lawns, whether that means back lawn, front lawn, wherever, just to get their vehicles off the road. And that good neighbor policy, don't park in front of your neighbors, that will hinder the removal of snow in front of their places. And then we want to talk a little bit about parking downtown. And here in Canada, we have yellow lines demarcation of the corners so that we can actually see around the corner. And I'm seeing lots of people now, once those yellow lines are covered, thinking that that's fair game. Let's park there. And so when I see a big truck park in and snow sled hanging off the back of that, and that sled is blocking the crosswalk where we can't cross without either hitting our head or ducking underneath, I'd encourage those people to park elsewhere. But also, just because the snow is covering the yellow line doesn't mean you're not culpable for a ticket because you're parking on a yellow line. So just for those locals who are aware of that, or the tourists that come to town, please note that the bylaw will be looking at those infractions.
All righty. Well, so you had a council meeting on Tuesday. That was rather educational and fun. I believe it was a bit of a packed house, rather controversy in some form. Was it exciting for you?
Yeah, it was exciting. It was good to see so many residents out. Everybody's concerned about what's happening with Mackenzie Village. So David wanted to bring a delegation, and I welcomed that. So he was able to speak his piece in public. And
so in brief, just for those that either A, weren't there, or B, didn't watch the council meeting online afterwards because of it. It's not Netflix.
It is still available, though, if you're curious and want to go back and revisit it.
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
That you could rewatch it. But just to give a recap, David stood up to present on behalf of you guys taking a look at Phase 2, Phase 3. Am I not correct on that?
Yeah, he wanted to give his input from what he feels is his side of the story, and he's entitled to his opinions, and, we've listened. So further to that, the staff have given a list of the deficiencies that need to be done, and whatever the disagreement is, we just encourage both parties to work together to get to fruition, and that's really the end of it. From my perspective, it's a long drawn out event, and we want to see Mackenzie Village move forward. Go from there. Then second to that, we had the first cannabis-related event come to the city of Revelstoke. So the way the process works is someone who wants a license applies to the government, similar to under the Liquor Control Act. Anyone who's serving booze has to do the same thing. So they've applied. That referral comes back to city council, and we look at it. City staff looks at it first and says, does it conform with the bylaws? And so we passed it. Now that goes back to the federal and provincial people. And as long as the proponent follows all the rules and does everything, at some point there may be the first retail cannabis outlet in the community.
So does that, Gary, mean that it's just a licensing thing that doesn't say where it might be or what or anything like that? It's just obtaining the license to potentially sell.
It pins the license to an actual spot.
Okay, so there is an actual place in mind.
Yep. So they've indicated they have rental space at 109 Connaught, which is downtown right behind the travel agency there on Connaught. And so it goes with that exact spot. If they were to want to move their business from that to another one, they would have to reapply and go through the whole thing. And my understanding, it's a complete expensive thing.
For sure.
And there's some really dynamic things that they have to do with their product and how to keep it safe and that sort of thing when they're not on the premises.
The government takes jazz cigarettes real serious.
Gary, you did have a question. Some people were curious as to there was an increase in garbage pickup, and the wonder was why.
I'm not sure what you mean increase in the number of times that it's being picked up.
No, like the cost of garbage pickup, and I believe water and garbage went up. Is that true?
It's water and sewer.
Oh, sorry, water and sewer. Pardon me, not garbage. Was there a specific reason? Someone asked me, can you ask, is there a specific reason why?
Well, we need to make sure we have funds in a reserve for dealing with the water and the sewer. The big thing is we tried to put a bylaw through last summer regarding DCCs, which would have covered any increase in that because we're going to need to deal with the sewage treatment plant at some point. That bylaw did not get passed, and so we're looking at it saying, okay, how do we increase these charges in an equitable way and still be able to put some money aside so that we can deal with some of these things that are going to be dealt with down the road. So across the board, for the most part, it's 5% increase for almost all the fees and charges.
Right.
With water and sewer, it was 10% respectively for both of those. So it's just up a little bit higher for that. It's not a great increase for people as far as what their overall cost is per year. Maybe $23 or something for the local resident. Don't quote me exactly on that
ballpark
price. And then for us that have commercial businesses, when we get billed quarterly, that'll be a little bit more, and I guess it's going to be appropriate to the business.
Okay. So that was your question. Do you have anything else you want to touch base on before? Because next week is holiday week, and we're all going to be away. So,
well, today the Christmas train is coming with donations to the food bank, and I understand Santa's going to be there. And
Santa!
Holy smokes!
So that's exciting. So I'm going to encourage all the residents to get down there and all the little kids to gather around Santa and climb on him and ask him all the questions about the deer and all the reindeer and all the regular stuff, and see what kind of treats he has. And then I think the fire department will be there with their display, and sometimes we have parks there as well. I'm not exactly sure of all the people that will be there. I have the fortunate time today of actually being able to go to Golden this morning and ride on that Christmas train from Golden to Revelstoke. So I'm hoping that I'm get through the roads here in due time, and be able to be present with Patty at the presentation this afternoon.
All right. Well, then we'll see you there tonight at 6:00, and have a safe ride to Rogers Pass.
Awesome. I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas as we go into that final week prior to Christmas, and thank everyone for taking care of each other and being together as a family. Thanks. Appreciate it.